Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? How you doing? Comment vas-tu? Ça va? How are y'all? Okay, so today's video is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be kind of messy. I genuinely didn't know when I was gonna do this video, if I was gonna do this video, but I decided I had to do this video now because something in my spirit told me to, right? We're gonna be talking about the professor that got away with sleeping with students at my college. Now, many of you guys watching this already know what college I've been to. Okay, I've been to Bloomfield College in Bloomfield, New Jersey. It's no secret. However, you can look up anything you want to. More than likely, you're not gonna find this story out there under that. Okay, so anyone who's my age, however, I'm currently 27. Anyone who graduated 2017 or before would probably know about this professor and probably knows about this story. People in the Haitian community in North New Jersey most likely also know about this story. So I'm gonna ask that you refrain from commenting this person's name or any of the victims' names, because at the end of the day, they are victims. Regardless of what you think regarding age or professionalism at that age, they are victims. So since school kind of just started, right now I'm filming this in September, but by the time this gets out, it'll probably be October. However, this is the thing, right? I feel like a lot of us, like, we have god kids or brothers, sisters, or children of our own that we send out to school. And the last thing on our mind is a teacher being predatory or a professor being predatory to our child, right? Or to the child or children that we love. That's the last thing on our mind. But it happens so often that I'm very shocked that this doesn't get talked about more often. And that's the main reason I'm talking about this video today. Because I feel like this shit flew under the radar for too long and it wasn't okay. I genuinely am disgusted by it now that I look back at it. I ain't gonna stunt. At the time, I did find it like mind-blowing to the point where like I couldn't really talk. But like, it was one of those things where it was like, wow, like I can't believe a scandal like this is happening and this person is getting away with whatever it is that they're doing. I can't. So we're drinking some Hornitos in a Remy glass. Get your tea, get your snacks, get your liquor, get your vape, get everything. Cause this is gonna be a lot. I guess a trigger warning, because I don't know how this is gonna go. If you guys feel like I'm being insensitive or I'm just making jokes or whatever, I'm trying to make this as comfortable as I can. Because to be honest, now that I think about it, this is kind of uncomfortable, but it does need to be talked about. And I just really want you guys to be very, very careful. Watch your kids, check their phones, make sure they're not out here doing what they shouldn't be doing, especially with adults. It's one thing for them to be doing what they shouldn't be doing with people their age, but like when they out here, you know, being preyed upon by their own professors, teachers, administration, mentors, coaches, and stuff like that, it becomes a real problem. And this happens too often not to be talked about. So I went to Bloomfield College. There was a staff member that I met who was of Haitian descent, okay? He was legit everything at this school. So the title says professor, but not only was he a professor, he worked at student services, like in the community service. What is that thing called? CSLE. So what the fuck is that called, y'all? I don't know what it's called. Oh, there you go. He worked as an academic advisor. He worked as a resident advisor. Like, he had many hats at Bloomfield College. Okay, so all I gotta say is that gave him too much access. All right, way too much access. But of course, he was of Haitian descent, and we became really, really cool because he was Haitian descent. I did become Haitian president of my Haitian Student Association by my sophomore year of college, and he did become my advisor. Now, he would throw advances at me here and there, you know, flirt with me, say things here and there. But this is the thing, when it comes to Haitian men, this is just what the fuck they do, especially older ones. They flirt all damn day. They could literally be 80 and they throwing a whole flirt at you. It's nasty, it's annoying, but at this point I've learned to just ignore it, smile, move on, or just shut it down and move on, because there's no point of arguing with it, there's no point of whatever. And it's like, now that I think about it, it's a problem that's something that a lot of us ignore, whether they're Haitian or not. Like, men in general, like this whole just like saying inappropriate, nasty, or just like uncomfortable things to girls just because you think they're pretty or just because you think they're attractive is not okay. All right, catcalling is one thing, but like when you're like literally in a woman's face and the first thing you're thinking of, oh, well, your lips look juicy today. Oh yeah, I wonder what's under that skirt. Or like, you know, you're saying things like that. Like, that's like genuinely uncomfortable. That's not a compliment, and it needs to stop. So like, he would say like little comments like that, but I never thought anything of it. Mainly because you're grown as hell and you're not cute to me and you're staff. Okay, you're a teacher, you're a professor, you're RA. Like the man was a million things. There was nobody else at that school that I know of. No, actually, there was a couple people at that school that had a couple positions, because Bloomfield is a really small school, so some people do end up having many hats, right? So I was just like, I would just brush it off. I'd be like, whatever, you know, like, you're still cool, whatever. And it was never like anything where he was like insinuating and pushing me and doing anything, like, so it was like whatever. So some of my friends here and there would say things like, yeah, we're gonna have to name him. So we're gonna name this professor, staff, RA, everything, we're just gonna call him Jean-Claude. That's a Haitian ass name, right? Nothing like his name, but hey, we're just gonna call him Jean-Claude. Okay, so Mr. Jean-Claude. Okay, so Jean-Claude, he would always make advances at girls. I had a lot of my friends that would sit there and be like, yeah, you know, Jean-Claude was flirting with me, Jean-Claude this, Jean-Claude that. But this is the thing, a lot of the girls and a lot of my friends that would say things like that, they were girls that would, like, I don't want to say they be lying all the time, but like, they were the type of girls that always thought that niggas wanted them. So I just never really paid any mind to it. I was like, yo, you always think somebody wants you, okay? You always think somebody looking at you, somebody talking to you, da da da. And since we're in college, my initial thought is, okay, I mean, maybe like this is appropriate, but maybe it's not. But then apparently, according to the code of conduct, it's not appropriate. Okay, so I don't know if certain schools allow this. Comment down below if your school does. This is something that I know a lot of people are probably going to be commenting, and I need to tell y'all right now, cut it out, okay, just in case you are. Even though most college students are over the age of 18, it is nowhere near appropriate for a professor or a staff member on any level to be out here having any relations with students, okay? That's just not okay. All right, maybe after they graduated, maybe after, you know, they finished school, but like not during, okay? That's just morally corrupt in every sense of the word. It doesn't make sense. It breaks the trust, and also there's room for bias. So it doesn't really make any sense why anyone would think that's okay just because, oh, well, they're over the age of 18. If that's your logic, there might be something wrong with you and you might have to go see a goddamn therapist, okay? Because no, your teacher is your teacher, and that's that, okay? Go find somebody your own not teacher, okay? I was like sitting there like, you know, that was a thing. And it's funny because there was also rumors. This one I could never confirm. This man never got caught for real, but I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But there was also rumors of a coach of a specific sports team that would also sleep with students, and I was like, there's no way that that's a thing. Like, I was like, there's no way that's a thing. Like, it can't be a thing. So I was like, I just shrugged it off, y'all. I shrugged it off. I was like, it's not possible, because that's kind of weird, that's kind of nasty, and that's kind of ridiculous. Like, it just boggled my mind. Like, I wasn't naive, right? Like, I was like, what, 19, 18, hearing these stories. Like, I wasn't that naive, but at the same time I was like, there's no way people would be that stupid, because this school is so damn small and things travel around so damn fast. So it got to a point where, fast forward sophomore year, I did ask Mr. Jean-Claude to be my advisor for Haitian Student Association, because I was the president, and every, you know, organization does need an advisor that is the staff or a professor at the school. And since he had like a million jobs at the school, I thought, who better? And I believe he was literally the only Haitian staff that I remember at the time. So he was the perfect candidate. He had the connects that we needed for certain things. So perfect. And it came to a point where I started to see things, and I was like, there's no way. Like, you know how like things slap you in the face? You just like, nah. That's what started happening. So instance number one, like I said, not only was he a professor, not only was he a professor and all these other things, but one of his jobs was a resident advisor, which means he basically had to live on campus. But most of the time he didn't. A lot of times he didn't stay on campus. Like, all the time I would ask him like, hey, can you stay here so we could practice, so we could do this, that, and the third, because this was a big thing. So my Haitian Student Association had a dance team, and we always needed places to dance, and they never wanted to let us dance anywhere. It was a whole thing where we had like a dance band. Like, I don't know, like they banned dancing in so many places. And I ended up living in a building. I'm not gonna give that information away, but basically I ended up living in a specific type of building, and that building had a underground level, but still like there was this whole rule at one point where like you have to have your advisor there, or they had to sign off on a paper. It was this nonsensical rule, right? And he would be like, oh, I'm not gonna be here, I'm busy, I have to go to my house. And you know what, it's funny because like I was like, how you gotta go to your house where you have to be here? You a resident advisor. And that's the thing, like I'm not talking about like resident advisor, like a student resident advisor that lives in a dorm. Like I'm talking about like REH, like literally like head. So it's just like, sir, how is that possible? Like you gotta go to your house, like you're supposed to be here. Like what kind of arrangement did you make with the school? You're supposed to be here. Like how the fuck can't you be here? So I was kind of annoyed. I'm like, so you can't supervise us? Like what the fuck? And our practices were kind of like late, I guess, for terms of people. Like our practice was on period like 8 to 10 or sometimes like 9 to 11. So I'm like, bro, like what the fuck? So I was like, whatever, you can't be here, whatever. So sometimes we were practicing our dorm rooms, like tight as hell, like 6 of us, like dancing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Some way, somehow, I'd see him sneaking around at night at the times that he said he was gonna be here around the campus. So I said, well, that's suspicious. That's weird. How are you sneaking around on campus? And the thing that made it worse, he looked young, okay? He was young, actually, not that he was kind of young for the most part. He was young, he looked young, and he would dress young, and he would blend in. But the nigga had a certain walk and a certain stature that it's like, well, I know what the fuck, I know who that is, I know that you. So we'd have this hoodie on, he'd have dark clothes on, he just walking. And I'm like, and I remember me and my dance team, and we would just be like, yo, ain't this the same motherfucker that said he couldn't come to our practice? And they'd be like, yeah, that's him right there. I'm like, whatever, he fake. So the next day or, you know, coming days, I'd be like, yo, so I thought you couldn't come to the practice. He's like, yeah, you know, I was busy. I had to go home. I had to do this. I had to do that. And he's like, I'm like, sir, I saw you wobbling around on campus. So save me the grief. Oh, no. I had came back because I left my hard drive. You listen, all types of excuses all the time. I shrugged it off. But now that I think about it, why is a professor, REH, whatever person sneaking around at night? But at the same time, you're a resident like advisor person, you know, like, and mind you, again, I'm saying resident advisor, but like he was like the top of the resident advisors. Like he oversaw the resident advisors. The resident advisors are the students, okay? REH is the head. So like he was part of REH. So I'm like, I mean, it's not too wild, but more than likely you never see REH walking around. Like you don't see them, like unless there's a fire alarm or like legitimate danger, like something actually happening. Other than that, you don't see those people. So I'm like, this don't make sense. Like that was my first thing. I was like, that don't make sense, but boom, I ain't think nothing of it. Fast forward to, I had a girl in my class. We're gonna call her Asia, okay? Oh wow, I haven't seen that girl, talk to her in a long time. I don't know if she's still alive. I don't know where she at, but she was so cool. She was in one of my classes. She was in a lot of my classes, and we became real cool, whatever. And basically she wanted to go to the academics office so that she can do her schedule. Now this was something that Bloomfield College did. I know certain schools probably do this, but certain schools really don't give a fuck. But my school did this bullshit where you had to go to the school academic advisor in order to get like basically guidance on how to pick your classes, or else you couldn't pick your classes by yourself online. So like say if tomorrow we have to pick our classes, by today the latest you had to go to an academic advisor as well as the advisor for your major to make sure that you know what you're doing, to make sure what classes you're picking, and then you can go on and be unlocked to choose your classes tomorrow. That's how it was. I mean, it makes sense because too many people be out here picking the wrong classes and doing all this goofy shit or whatever. And funny enough, people still end up picking the wrong classes and doing shit and graduating late, but that's neither here or there. That's how Bloomfield College process work, right? Asia, real cool. Basically, Asia starts to tell me how she used to sleep with a specific sports coach on Bloomfield College campus. Now, I'm like, you for real? She's like, yeah, his dick good. And I'm like, he's not even cute. Like, I was so confused. I was like, ew. What does that do for you? Like, he's a sports coach. Like, this is the thing. Do what you do. But if you're gonna do something wrong, at least do it for the right reasons. At least get something out of it. Like, what is he doing for you? Like, he can't do nothing to your grade. He can't get you somewhere. He can't get you in a dorm. So what is the point of sleeping with this coach? You're not even on that team. And she's like, oh no, like I actually like him, whatever. All of this nonsense. I was like, whatever. Class is over. And she's like, hey, I need to go to advising. Mind you, there's nothing to advise, guys. She's asking me to go with her to the academic office like in freaking like October, November. So I'm just sitting here like, why are we going there again? Like, why are we, like, I don't understand, like, why are we going to the academics office? And she's like, yeah, I don't know, like this advisor told me to come see him. And I'm like, an advisor told you to come see him for the what? Like, you dropping the class? She's like, no, he just called me and he told me to come see him. I said, since when the fuck do advisors call your phone? You ain't pay your tuition? She said, no, Like, girl, you so funny. Don't you think the Busars would have been calling me? I mean, I guess, but like, why isn't advising called? Like, mind you, I was so confused because I'm like, no one goes into advising until you have to pick your classes, and classes are picked. The deadline to even drop a class is done up unless you try to just accept that F. So I'm just like, I'm so confused. So I'm like, whatever, girl, I'll come with you. I come, and we waiting or whatever. Why the hell Mr. Jean-Claude come out his office and he's shocked to see me, but I'm shocked to see him. And my friend's like, oh, y'all know each other? And I'm like, Mr. Jean-Claude, why are you trying to see Asia for? He's like, what you doing here? I said, Asia's my friend. And he was like, oh, okay, well, Asia, feel free to come in. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll wait for you out here, Asia, cause what the fuck are you advising, Mr. Jean-Claude? Like, I was so confused, y'all. Like, I was thoroughly perplexed because what type of academic advising is being done when classes are in session? Like, there's nothing to be picked. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'm just thinking too deep into this shit. Like, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna think anything of it. Asia comes out with his card and his personal phone number on the back of it. So I said, She said, girl, what? Girl. I said, I don't find any of this amusing. This is not funny. Like, this, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, girl, like, he said he thought I was cute or whatever. And like, yeah, he just wanted to talk to me. He just wanted to see me, whatever. Let's be real. Word got out that you out here fucking a coach, and the coach probably told Jean-Claude, and now Jean-Claude wants parts. That's what I got from it. But hey, who am I to use my common sense? So I'm just sitting here like, this is kind of disgusting. Like, cause like this guy, I kind of saw him as like kind of like not a father figure, but like a higher up figure for real. Like, I'm kind of like, why is he hitting on you? Like, first of all, when he first saw her, he was looking at her up and down. Then he saw me like, oh shit, like let me not look at her. He was like, oh, what you doing here? Bitch, why you calling her to your office? You talking about what I'm doing here? What are we doing here? You gonna write your personal phone number on the back of the cord? So I was like, okay, again, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just thinking too deep into it. So now I start telling my friends, you know, like squad and shit, and they're just like, yeah, you ain't know he be fucking students, da 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 da. Everybody's like, yeah, girl. I'm like, now again, that's hearsay, just like with the coach. I'm like, that's hearsay. Well, clearly I have one of the victims at this point who doesn't know that she's a victim. And that's the thing. That's why, like, when it comes to these things, it gets tricky, right? Because a lot of people don't see themselves as victims in this thing. You know, they're just like, oh, well, I wanted to open my legs for this person. It is what it is. It doesn't matter if I'm 16, 18, or 28. But you need to understand, there's a power dynamic involved with these types of situations. This person knows they're a professor, their administration, their whatever the case may be. And if you do try to report them, if you do try to say whatever the case may be, their word will hold way above yours. That's what y'all need to understand. That's what makes this abuse, okay? And also, it's just ridiculously inappropriate and against most codes of conduct. And also, this just kills all trust that this person has built with you, possibly your parents, your family, and other students that they made relationships with. Like, you can't just be out here having sexual relations with students that you teach, that you mentor, that you're a public figure to. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So at this point, I'm just like, so you're gonna call the number? And she said maybe, and I'm like, what do you guys want me to do? The girl wants to sign her death warrant at this point. And I say death warrant because he's sleeping with literally most of Bloomfield College, according to everybody. This is another important note. If you do want to go to Bloomfield College, understand that Bloomfield College has one of the highest STD rates in New Jersey in terms of colleges, and it's actually one of the smallest. That's disgusting. And the first one is Rutgers. So can you imagine how bad that is? Be careful who you sleep with on that campus. I'm just saying. Anyhow, so I'm just sitting there like, I'm in shock at this point. And I don't see him the same anymore. I don't wish to interact with him. I don't really want to talk directly with him, but I kind of have to because he is my advisor for my freaking Haitian Student Association. So now we have this whole charity event, and the charity event is called Score for Haiti. Now, Score for Haiti is a very, very important event for Haitians in North Jersey who are in college, but I do not think it happens anymore because from what I understand, it kind of fell apart after like my generation, graduated, so after like 2017, I don't think there was any more Score for Haiti. And it just took a lot of work, okay? Because you have to get the players together, you have to figure out if it's gonna be students versus students or teachers versus students, or you know, it was just a lot of logistics. People have found other ways to fundraise for whatever. Score for Haiti was founded as a basketball charity game that raised funds to go to the Haitian victims of the 2010 earthquake. I personally loved this event. Like, I thought this is like one of the best events ever. It's actually one of the biggest events that Haitian Student Association has ever had, and I always wanted to keep all the big events, you know, going. This was my first year as president. I was like, you know what, I can't fail, because if I don't have this event, if this event fails, I'm gonna look bad. And typically Score for Haiti is played against other schools, so it'll be like Bloomfield versus Montclair, or Bloomfield versus Keene, Bloomfield versus whatever, you know, that's usually how it's set up. But this year we decided to do students versus alumni, and we used Mr. Jean-Claude to get the alumni because he had connects with like everybody. So we're like, oh, Mr. Jean-Claude, could you go get alumni? Could you go find these people so we can play the game? Da 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 da, yada yada yada. He finds all the alumni, the game is set, everything is planned, we get all the students are playing, everything is set, uniforms are set, everything is set in motion. Like, I'm so happy, bro. Like, I'm like, yes, like I'm about to be the reigning champ. Like, it's my first year as president, and look at me, Yvana, like, pull together a Score for Haiti. There you go, Score for Haiti. Why the hell, my nigga? You know, I have to get my water for this, because you know how they say Capricorns, we don't ever let shit go. I need to drink my water because I'm getting hot. Why the fuck is Mr. Jean-Claude not there? We got a gym full of people from other schools, literally a gym full of like people ready to donate, whatever the case may be, people ready to watch a basketball game, and Mr. Jean-Claude's not there. First of all, Mr. Jean-Claude, you are my advisor. You can't not fucking be there. This is another thing. When it comes to these events, right? Bloomfield College also had this stipulation where your advisor had to be there at all times. No ands, ifs, or buts. Especially for an event like Score for Haiti. Like, we took up the whole damn gymnasium. There's money involved. There's students and other people coming from other places and, you know, in schools and stuff. So it was like, we had to have our advisor there. What the fuck? And he's playing in the game. He's playing in the game. Where's Mr. Jean-Claude Pagemunki? Where Mr. Jean-Claude? Everybody's calling Mr. Jean-Claude Pagemunki Karive, Mr. Jean-Claude. Nobody could find Mr. Jean-Claude. Mr. Jean-Claude said, I ain't picking up the phone. So we're just confused. We're perplexed. We're not understanding what's going on. We thought he's dead. We really thought he's dead. We're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we're scared. And then on top of that, what did I tell you guys? Mr. Jean-Claude is in charge of the alumnus. He's in charge. Half the alumni didn't show up because Mr. Jean-Claude didn't coordinate it properly, because Mr. Jean-Claude wasn't there. Oh, I'm getting hot again. Yes, this was like 2018, but like, I am so fucking mad about this, because when you say you're gonna do something, you do that shit. But yo, you guys won't believe what the fuck happened, bro. So we're confused, because we're like, how are we gonna start a basketball game when technically we're not in compliance to start it? Now apparently Student Center comes, they're not letting us start the event, and they know damn well my Mr. Jean-Claude's not there, but they're not telling us why Mr. Jean-Claude's not there. So we're just like, what the fuck is going on? So they're like, oh well, you guys have to find somebody else to be here. We don't know what to tell you. And then I believe the alumni team was like maybe 4 or 5 players short, so something happened where like a lot of the student players couldn't play, and then they got mad at us and we had to refund them money because I believe they had to pay for their jerseys. Y'all, it was a whole ghetto mess, okay? That was the aftermath of it. But they're like, oh, you have to find somebody else to be here because Mr. Jean-Claude can't be here. We're like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, why? Where's Mr. Jean-Claude? We asked one of the security guards. They said, oh, you don't know what happened to Mr. Jean-Claude? We said, what happened to Mr. Jean-Claude? They said, so Mr. Jean-Claude got caught having relations with one of the students in this building that he's managing last night. Like, literally got caught red-handed by blah 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 security guard, and he was forced to resign. Now this one's for my mom. That's how my mom be yelling and screaming, bro. I was like, what? I said, first of all, y'all couldn't do this shit tomorrow after the goddamn game? Like, what the I said, you're joking. They're like, yeah, like he got caught. Like, literally, I caught him with the student. I caught him like leaving the student's dorm and da 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 da. And I I was like, that's how sticky it gets, huh? I'm in shock hearing this news. Like, I'm in utter shock. I'm in utter confusion. Because it's just like, yo, like when I'm telling you that shit took me for a loop, I was like, yo, so everything that I was thinking was true? All the rumors were true? Bruh. Within like maybe a couple hours, the whole school was talking about it. It's in every group chat. It's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. And I'm just like, honestly, this is a hot ass mess because all I care about is the fucking basketball game. We can talk about this tea later, bitch. Fuck the tea. This basketball game has to be fucking done. Get my money. I don't care. I don't give a shit that, okay? So at this point, we're trying to scramble people together to play in this game. Like, it was so bad. So the basketball game ends up happening. I don't remember who won, who lost. I don't really give a fuck. I just know it was a shit show because of that. He took the whole spotlight, okay? All of a sudden, who shows up to the basketball game? Mr. Jean-Claude runs out, shoots a couple hoops. Mind you, everybody shook, y'all. Everybody shook. Everybody's like, oh shit, he's not supposed to be here. I thought he was supposed to be here. Oh, yo, oh shit. Like, everybody is like, yo. Like, everybody shook because he's not supposed to be here. And he runs out. He like swishes a couple basketballs or whatever. Like, I was just like, oh, you should have saw my goddamn face. I was just like, I don't need you here, bitch. Get the fuck out. Like, that was literally my fucking face at this point because it's like, how fucking dare you? Like, that shit made me bad. Like, he popped up at the most random time in the middle. Just popped up in the middle of the game. Just started swishing, and then just left. Like, literally popped in, popped out. And we were just like, where are you going? Like, we was like, yo, where are you going? He's like, I can't be on campus. That was the last thing he said to us. I can't be on campus. So apparently, he was forced to resign, and he's banned from that campus completely. The girl that he's having relations with, forced to transfer to another school. And we thought that was the end of him. He was done. Maybe he was even gonna catch a charge or something. Nope, he got away with it. And I was like, how the fuck did he get away with that shit? Like, that is some crazy shit. And that's like extremely problematic. And I was just like side-eyeing Bloomfield low-key for a long time for that because I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, how in the world do you let somebody get away with some shit like that? Like, granted, I'm guessing she was of age and all, but like, no, like the rumors go way back and I'm sure they were true at this point. And it gets worse. Since he was allowed to resign, that means he's allowed to apply at other schools. In this time gap where we don't really know where he is and what he's doing, I found out he's married, he got a kid, he go to church, and I'm like, it's always the children of God. Let me stop. I'm sorry, church people. I'm just saying, it's always these men of God that be doing this bullshit. But anyhow, it's funny because when I started talking about this situation to certain people, especially certain Haitians, they started getting real upset because it was like, oh, I've known Mr. Jean-Claude my whole life and he would never, and this is fake and this isn't true and da 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 da. Mind you, he was forced to resign. There's no news coverage of this. There's no articles about this. It's just all Bloomfield College students that know about this at the time. So of course they're not gonna believe it. They're just gonna think it's rumors. They're just gonna think it's whatever. So I'm like, nah, nigga, this is what happened. It's confirmed by college security because they the ones that call his ass. So, and they're like, no, c'est pas vrai, it's not true. Whatever. Fast forward, this man gets hired at another school. I'm not gonna say the school's name because then y'all gonna figure out what it is. So he gets hired at another school and I'm like, how the fuck? I'm like, that's not okay. I'm like, the fact that he got like hired at another school don't sit right with me, don't sit right with my spirit. That's horrible. And this is why I be saying, like, for real, like, when you know somebody doing some fuck shit, like, for real, like, you had the proof, like, definitively, and you know it, y'all have to learn to say something for real. Like, me, I had to hearsay for real. I didn't know. It was like, okay, like, I thought about it. You know, he made some, like, comments towards me and a couple of my friends, but, like, when you know for real, you gotta say something because this should not have been allowed to happen. A couple months later, maybe a year later, because I think it was by my junior year, all of a sudden, I get a fucking article sent to my phone. This man is charged with SA of a student at the school that he just got hired at. Karma works very fast. So you did the bullshit at Bloomfield. They let you resign. They let you off easy. Because this is the thing. Bloomfield can't afford that type of press. They already poor as shit. They ain't got the money. Now you go to another school. You get a second chance. You could do better. You could do new shit, different shit. And you choose to do the same shit. You get caught up. Now you got an SA charge. Now this shit hits the Haitian community. It hits the Haitian churches. Everybody's like, oh, nah. And it was funny because I already knew it. A lot of my friends already knew it. And like when the shit was hitting our chats and shit, we was just laughing. Like, yo, again, my nigga? Like, again? again? Like, how? Like, how you get caught twice? Like, how? And like, people were really mad. Like, oh, don't talk about him like that. I've known him for that. Don't talk about him like what? Stop defending abusers. Okay, stop defending people that are doing shit that they know they shouldn't be doing. Stop defending bad people. Stop it. It's disgusting. It's problematic. Stop it. Keep off that songs. I've known him forever. Okay, and I don't care how long I've known somebody. If I know they definitively did something, I'm not gonna defend them anymore. Point blank period. I'm still probably gonna love you as a person. I don't hate you, but I'm not about to sit there and defend you. And like, it was ridiculous. Like, people really started getting upset. I believe he stopped going to his church. Like, y'all, it was a whole ordeal. So yes, that is how my college professor, advisor, everything got away with sleeping with students. Because I mean, I bluntly did. Then he went somewhere else and then he got his ass caught. It was ridiculous, and it was just a sad story because it's like, you could have done so much more. And it's like, you have a whole wife and you have a whole kid. I would love to know how she felt about it. And I know that's truly embarrassing. There ain't no way they stayed in the area, because I would not, no, I wouldn't even be with the man, but you know, religion and God and fix it. So I'm sure they still together. Haitian women, we all know how we be set up. So it's a lot, you know? So if you ever been through something similar, you have a similar story, definitely comment down below, because I'd love to hear it. It's very unfortunate how so many people have stories like this and they just don't talk about it, or they think it's normal, they think it's okay because, oh well, I'm 18, I'm 19, I'm 22, and it's like, no, your teacher should not be preying on you in that way, and you shouldn't be going after your teachers. And even if it's like on a different type of field where it's like a coach or whatever case may be, like, you need to say something, because that's just not an appropriate relationship to have. With that being said, comment down below again your stories, and also make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that, and subscribe to my other channels. Okay, we have the Mademoiselle channel, that is rants, reactions, and commentary on social issues pertaining to Black people, and then we have my Chronicles of a Zoe channel, which is Haitian voodoo, politics, and folklore, spooky, scary stuff. So I have something for everybody. With that being said, like, share, subscribe, do all that, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.